Welcome, low ego action heroes. I'm Debbie Levitt from Delta CX. We are a full service CX and UX consultancy. And this is my Axure 10 Core Skills course. I've been using Axure since February 2011, and I've been teaching it for many, many years. And in fact, I've been one of Axure's recommended trainers since 2014. This course is designed to take you from super Axure newbie or Axure afraid all the way through to confident intermediate. So if you've landed on this one video, there are many, many others. Please check our Axure lessons playlist for a lot more videos about using Axure. The Delta CX YouTube channel has over 500 videos on it as of when I'm recording this in December 2021, and I hope you'll subscribe and join in some of our live streams. I'm live usually 3 or 4 times a week with teaching UX research and design, talking about CX, helping people get into the profession, helping leaders and managers, and of course, don't forget Tuesday, office hours, Ask Me Anything. So subscribe and hang out here. So thanks for being here. Please subscribe and let's jump into that next Axure lesson.
Adding to our collection of visually designed form fields, let's take a look at what if we wanted to make a segmented controller. So a segmented controller is something that usually has 2 or 3 choices, and they act as some sort of toggle. So let me just start with some sort of shape here, and let's say this says yes, and let's copy paste this and say no. And again, we're going to make this into some sort of toggle. Now that means that we are going to need some custom visual styling. We're going to need what these things look like when they are the unselected side of the world and what these things look like when they are the selected. So let's go into our global widget styles and let's create that. So I'll just start up here and I'll say add and I'll call it seg controller default, or you could say unselected, because you know this is going to be selected, true and false. So maybe it looks like the way it does now, but maybe it's got a little splash of color. Let's imagine that it's this blue for the font, and the outline is the same blue. And maybe we make the line a little bit thicker just for fun. But again, you can choose however you want to style this. And we can make sure our text is aligned the way we want, middle and center. All right, let's try that. Now, one newbie mistake here is that people don't assign both of these to the default state. They think, well, one of these might be selected by default. I'll give them both that selected look. That's not the right way to go. Always give things the unselected state by default and use other Axure features to make them selected. Let's see that. That overlaps a little bit better. I just nudged it over 1. Now let's make what it looks like if one of these is selected, and then we'll build a couple of more things together to see this through. So I will say segmented controller selected is fill color blue with font color white. And outside line color, sure, but we won't really see it because it's the same as the fill. All right, so now let's select both of these and teach Axure that they have a visual style effect when we say they are selected true. So add style effect, selected style, widget style, segmented controller selected. They'll look like that. Okay, now also remember, there can be only one. These are acting as toggles. That means only one of these can be selected at a time. I'm going to just write seg to name them in the segmented controller group so I can see that this one is seg and this one is seg. That means Axure will see that there's a relationship, and if one is selected true, all the rest are selected false. Now, what else can we tell Axure? Well, we need to tell Axure that when people click on this one, it's selected true, and when people click on this one, it's selected false. Segmented controllers usually don't have a second click. You don't click this one to unselect it, but again, if you wanted to do that, you probably know enough from the previous lessons on how to do that. So I'm just going to quickly build that if someone clicks on this, set selected of this to true. This would be truly selected. And since it would be the identical interaction for the no, I am just going to copy and paste it right over there, paste on my keyboard. And let's refresh and take a look at how this is going. Alrighty. So yes, no, yes, no. Okay, so we want to make sure that there can be only one, that they weren't selected at the same time. And this looks like it's working well. Now, if we wanted to add a little bit more design to this, there's something I would do, but I would do it as a manual style and probably not as a global style, so don't hate me. But I would probably say if I wanted rounded corners, let's pretend we wanted rounded corners. Well, notice we don't want the whole thing to look like a button. We only want the left side rounded, and that means I would say don't round the right 2. And then I would have to come and do the same thing on the no side. I would say same rounded corner radius, but don't round the left 2. That gives us more of that rounded pill shape, which is somewhat common nowadays. So we could say on, off. Now clicking no again does nothing. There is no undo this. People are either picking on or off, and that's it. If you wanted one of these to be selected by default, again, just come back to interactions and check the selected box. If there were 3 choices here, we can easily do that. Let's just do a quick copy paste here. Let's stick this guy in the middle. Let's quickly change the style so that they don't have any rounded corners at all and it's a straight box. And let's bring this one in to overlap. And now let's make this one maybe for the undecided people in the group. And we'll have yes, maybe, and no. So this would now be a segmented controller that toggles with all of these, and there can be only one. And we didn't have to specifically say for the maybe that there can be only one. When we copied and pasted the yes, it kept the selection group and therefore dropped it in for that one. And so that would be an easy way to make a segmented controller for that type of toggle. And I guess I'll see you in the next lesson.